Hi everyone! How are you? So happy Friday! How are you guys? I hope that you had a wonderful week. I'm so glad that we get to hang out and make some art together today. Are you ready? Are you feeling creative? I brought along my little fish friend to give you a little clue that today we are going to make some art inspired by the ocean and all the animals that live under the sea. So this is actually a piece of art that a friend of mine named Mai, who has her own little art studio here in Monterey called Playful Ground, she made this. She makes these sardines out of all kinds of different fabric, and I love it so much I had to get one. So I thought our little sardine friend could hang out with us today while I work on this underwater picture. But it might be hard for me to paint with the sardine on my lap. So I'm going to set him off to the side, but he'll be right here watching. So go ahead and go get whatever art supplies you have. Whatever you want to work with is fine by me. It makes no difference. You can make art with anything. So go grab some stuff, and we're going to get started. Let me move my sign out of the way. I live very close to the ocean. I actually like to walk over to the beach all the time. I think it's really inspiring. I like imagining all the animals that live out there. So today I thought it would be really fun to make an underwater picture, and the cool thing about making an underwater picture is there are so many different kinds of animals that live under the water, and plants, and all kinds of stuff that you can use your imagination and you can put anything in there that you want to, okay? So let me start by getting I'm going to draw mine with a pen so you guys can see really well. But if you're drawing, if you want to draw with a pencil or whatever, you want to just go right into paint, that's fine too, or markers or colored pencils, anything goes. So I thought it would be kind of fun to imagine what the world looks like from above the water and below the water. We're used to seeing the view from up above, so we'll include that, but then we'll also show what it looks like underneath. So if you want to draw, now you can draw anything you want, but if you want to draw along with me and make something similar, I'm going to start by drawing a line across the top of my page, and that line represents the horizon line. Have you ever heard that word before? The horizon line, when you look out, if you're looking at land or if you're looking at the ocean, it doesn't matter, but that's the place where the ground or the water or whatever it is touches the sky. So everything up here is the sky, everything down here is the ocean in our picture. Okay? So we're looking at the top of the ocean so far. But now, let's draw another line. I'm going to make it a little wavy. Okay? And that line is going to represent that it's like we're in the water and our eyes are just peeking up over the edge. So this part is above the water. Everything down here is below. Does that make sense? Maybe it'll help if I do this. Hold on. I'm going to draw a little boat. You can draw a boat too. So there's our boat. I'll just do some wood planks on the side of it. There's our boat above the water. Maybe it's a sailboat. There's the sail. And maybe we see just a little bit of it down here under the water. Does that make sense now? This part's up above. This part is down below. So everything down here is going to be under the ocean. At first I was thinking I should dress up like I was going swimming today, like I should wear a wetsuit and big goggles and flippers and a snorkel. But then I thought it might be kind of hard to paint and draw if I'm wearing that. So I decided against it. But, you know, it's always good to get into the spirit of things. All right, so now, what do we want to have under the ocean? You can put anything in there that you want. I'm going to start by just doing the very bottom of the ocean, like the ocean floor. And I'm going to make it kind of wavy, maybe even a few different layers. I want to put some different kinds of plants and rocks and things in there. Okay. So, sky, top of the ocean, under the ocean, and this is the ocean floor. Have you ever been swimming in the ocean before? Have you ever seen pictures of it? There are so many beautiful colors, so many different plants, all kinds of things. So down here on the ocean floor, I'm going to just start by drawing some really interesting squiggly plants. All kinds of little things. You can do whatever shape you want. And I'm going to do some on each layer. Maybe there's a little starfish hanging out down here. Could be. Why not? Maybe there's even a little treasure chest. It's your ocean. You can put anything in there that you want. I'm going to put a little treasure chest in mine. See that? See how I drew the box? Like this. And then this top part is the lid that's opened up so we can see what all is in the treasure. Maybe some little jewels, some coins, whatever you like. Make the box a little fancier. Now, if this is your first time watching us, well, first of all, welcome. And also, I just want to make sure everybody who's watching knows that the most important thing is to be creative and have fun. So don't worry if your picture doesn't look perfect. Don't worry if your picture doesn't look like mine. In fact, it's better if it doesn't, because I would rather see you use your imagination and put whatever you want in your piece. Okay? So don't think you have to copy me. I'm going to do a few more underwater squiggly plants. That looks pretty cool. Just added some details to my boat. All right, now it's time for some. Here's our sardine. It's time for some fish. Should we just put him on there? All right, you go back down here, behave. All right, you can draw any kind of animals you want. I'm going to just start making up all kinds of things. Maybe some little jellyfish. I like jellyfish a lot. I like the way these squiggly lines can go any direction. All right, what else? How about a little fish? She's a happy little fish. Maybe some stripes. What else do you want to have in your ocean? Put anything you like. I think I'm going to do a turtle. And whatever it is that you want to draw, all you have to do in your head is break it down into shapes. Everything in the world is just made up of shapes. So if you think of it like that, there's nothing that you can't draw. So I'm going to start with an oval shape for my turtle. And then I'm going to give my turtle a little head, which is another oval. And, oh, there we go. Gotta have something to swim with. And now I'm going to put some shapes on the shell. Maybe some little bubbles. How's yours coming? Are you having fun? Are you making up a whole underwater adventure? Imagine what it would be like to be swimming down there with all of these characters. That would be a lot of fun. Do I want anything else? Maybe sometimes it's fun to just have one little face peeking in from the side. Little fishy. That looks pretty good. I'm liking it. All right, I think I'm going to stop drawing and start coloring now. Coloring is a very fun step. I'm going to use paint for mine, but you can use anything you want. Like I said, if you have crayons, if you have colored pencils, markers, you name it. I am painting because I was painting last night on a different picture, and I still have all this paint left over, so I need something to do with it, so I'm going to use that. I don't like to waste anything. And I've got a bunch of brushes. Look at those. Wow, how do I even choose? All right, let's see. I'm going to start with a big one. Usually I like to get the background in first when I'm working on a picture. You can do it however you want, though. If you want to start by coloring the animals, you can. There's no rules. You do whatever you want. I'm going to mix up a few different shades of blue, because if you've ever been in the ocean or if you've ever seen a picture of under the water, what happens is the water gets darker the deeper that you go, because you're further away from the light, which is up here. So I'm going to mix up a few different shades of blue, but if you're coloring with a colored pencil or with a crayon, you can just press harder down here and lighter up here, and it'll make it lighter. But I'll show you what I'm doing here. See, I've got a big pile of blue that's really dark. So I'm going to put it right here on my palette. I'm just going to add a little white to it. You guys see? When I add the white, that makes the blue lighter. It's like magic. And I'm going to make one more that's even lighter than that. So I'm going to take some of that blue and add a little more white to it. Now look at that. I have two different values of blue. A value just means the light and dark in your picture or of a color. So these are two different values right here of blue. And you can make a bunch more than that, but I'm going to start with just these two. And I'm going to fill in the whole underwater area so that I can get a big chunk of color right away on my canvas. Oh, somebody asked what kind of paint. So I'm using oil paint. You guys might have some acrylic or watercolor. That's usually better for kids. I do a lot of oil painting myself, so that's what I'm using. All right, I'm going to start down here in the deepest part of the ocean. I'm going to make it really dark. Just imagine how cool it would be to be swimming down there and exploring and seeing all of these really beautiful animals and plants right up close. We're really lucky. We have an awesome aquarium here in Monterey where you can go and see all kinds of deep sea animals. They have some beautiful displays. So if you you ever get a chance to go visit a real aquarium, you should do that because it is pretty awesome just to see all those animals, all those fish in person. Our aquarium even has a what is it, like a live stream camera. So if you go to the Monterey Aquarium's social media, like their Facebook page, they have cameras set up so you can actually watch some of their fish, some of the animals live. It's like you're visiting the aquarium just online. So if you need inspiration, that's definitely one place to go. I'm going to cover up some of my drawing. I can still see the lines though. It just makes it a little bit easier for me than having to try to paint around everything. Nothing wrong with taking a shortcut. Okay, so I'm going to go up to about this high with the darkest color, and then I'm going to switch to a little bit lighter. Like I said, if you're using colored pencils or crayons, all you have to do to make it darker is just press a little harder. I've always loved the water. I love to swim. I love going for boat rides. So I'm very lucky that I get to live so close to the ocean, so I can go see it whenever I want. All right, so now it's time to go for a little bit lighter blue. That's what I'm going to do on mine. In your artwork, you can do anything you want. You can make the ocean pink if that's what you feel like. In art, there are no rules, so you do whatever you want. But you see how on mine I'm going just a little bit lighter, and then I'm kind of blending it in to the darker blue that's down below. Just by running that color right up into the darker one. See how it starts to feel like it's just getting gradually darker as it goes down? That's what we want. Good thing I have a big brush. Okay, let me get a little bit more of this color. And then, do you know what's going to happen next? I'm going to go even lighter, because we're up here almost at the very top now. Don't worry, little fish, I'm going to bring you back. Okay, time for the white one. Just like I did before, I'm just blending it down in. So if you're using pencils, this is where you could just start pressing a little bit lighter with it. Also, too, I think it actually might be kind of cool to get a little bit of that blue color on some of the fish, because when you're underwater, everything kind of takes on a little bit of a bluish cast to it. So you might decide that you even want to mix a little bit of blue with some of your fish colors so that they do really feel like they're under the water. That is totally up to you. Okay. See how my water just goes from light to dark? Feel like you could just dive right in there, don't you? Good thing that we didn't paint any sharks in here. Did you put a shark in yours? You could if you want to. I have a friend that loves to paint sharks. He paints really big paintings of sharks and makes them look very cool. So whatever you're into is okay. What else? What other kinds of animals live under the water anyway? Can you think of any that I didn't do? What about dolphins? What about octopus? You could put a big octopus in your picture. That would be neat. You could also do like fairy tale characters. Like you could do a mermaid if you want to, or a merman. Mr. Paul the merman. What else? Whale. Whale could be neat. Okay, so now we've got our water, the underwater part. So now I'm going to go up above. I'm just going to use a different shade of blue so that the part that's above the water looks a little different than below. See how I have on my palette, I have this other shade of blue right here that's just a little different than the underwater blue. So if you have a box of crayons or colored pencils, if you have a different blue, I would switch to that so that the part above the water just feels a little different because the lighting is different up there, and it just might probably have a little bit of a different color to it. If you don't have a different blue, use the same blue, but then try mixing another color right on top of it. Maybe put a little purple or a little green, whatever you want. Let's see here. And always remember to try to paint things so that to draw things so that they look like they have texture to them. The texture of whatever it is that you are drawing. And texture just means that you draw it or you paint it so that it looks like the way it would feel. So if you think about water and how water can be really choppy, it can have lots of waves, it can move. So go ahead and make your water wavy. I'm using some white paint and putting some little waves right up there, and that lets us know that that's the very top of the ocean. And I'm even going to use kind of a white edge to really make this above and below part separate. You see that? You can really have fun with it. Just imagine that you're in the water swimming. Think about what those waves look like. There. That looks pretty cool. Looks really different up above and down below. That's what we're going for. How's yours coming? It's starting to feel like hope you're not getting seasick. All right, now I'm going to do the sky. I'm just going to use a really light blue up there. You can do any color you want. You know, sometimes the sky can be all kinds of different colors. It could be pink, it could be yellow, purple, whatever your favorite is. I'm just going to imagine that it's kind of a nice warm afternoon day for my painting, so I'm going to use just a bright blue up there. Paint around my boat. Okay, there we go. See how we have all these different levels now. One word that I want to talk to you guys about as we work on this. Here's your art word for the day. And it's not just an art word. It actually can be used for a lot of different things. But have you ever heard anybody talk about point of view before? Have you ever heard that term, point of view? Point of view means where you are and where, let's see, how can I describe it? It's where you are and how you are seeing the world from that place. So from my point of view right now, I'm sitting here in my art studio looking at my computer screen out at all of you guys. But your point of view is totally different wherever you are. If you're at your house, you're looking at your computer screen at me. We're in two different places. So as you're painting this, think about how there are so many different points of view right here in this one painting. There's the point of view above the water from the people in the boat and what they're seeing when they look out. Then there's the point of view of all these animals down here under the water and all the cool things they're seeing. It's kind of fun when you start to imagine the world from somebody else's point of view. It's a very good thing to do. All right, now I'm going to start coloring the ocean floor. I'm going to make each layer a slightly different color. You use whatever colors you want, though. Like I said, there's no rules. I can't say that enough because it's the truth. So a little different. And go a little more yellow, I think. See, I kept them kind of close in color, but they are, each one's a little different. All right. That's looking pretty cool. Now I need a smaller brush because it's time to paint some plants. Let's see here. Use green for some. You can put more than one color on the same plant. It could be lighter in some places, darker in others. That might actually make it look more real. Like light is hitting it in different spots. Okay. I think turquoise for this little guy. I cannot wait to see all of your underwater adventures. You don't have to rush to finish it. Just when I do, you can keep working on yours as long as you want to. There's no time limit. All right, little starfish. Don't want to forget you. Okay. Got some more plants. And you can even add more things that you didn't draw. If you get an idea of something else that you want to have, just add it. Sometimes I like to do that when I'm working on a painting. I'll think, oh, you know what? I want to add one more little plant. I'll just stick it right in there. Get all these little guys. How's yours coming? You having fun? Being creative out there? Good. That's the most important thing. Okay. We have got plant life, we've got water, we've got sky. Now it's time, let's do the treasure chest. I'm going to make mine brown. What would you put in a treasure chest? Do you have any special treasures? Something really special? Maybe that's what you could draw in yours. A little bit darker up here inside the lid. And then I'm going to go really dark down inside. Time for another brush. Gonna paint all my little gold coins now. There we go. All right. I like to save the most fun part for last, so I'm going to do the boat next, because for me, I think that the fish are going to be the most fun part. So let me get the boat in there. I'm going to go dark first, and then I'll use a lighter brown to make the wood. That little part under the water. There we go. All right, let's make it look like it's got some wood grain going on. And I'm going to just put a little kind of light gray color on the sail. So the strings holding it up. Okay, there's our boat. Now it's time for the fish! Yay! All right, what color do you guys want to be? I think you want to be kind of yellow. Let's color all of you first. Now it's also a good idea to name your fish and all of your characters when you make an art piece so that you can really start to connect with them. So, what should the name of this fish be? Any ideas? I think this fish will be Samantha. Does that seem like a good fish name? Samantha's going to have some black stripes. You've got to give her eye. Need a smaller brush for that. Detail work. Little eyeball. And little smile. Okay. Now, Samantha's friend up there. Who's Samantha's friend? I think he's going to be orange. Fred? It's not. I don't know if you look like a Fred, but we'll go with that. First thing that popped into my head, so that's what it is. You are Fred. Okay, we're getting there. Right, now, jellyfish. I'm going to make the jellyfish kind of pink in mine. If you did a jellyfish, though, it doesn't have to be pink. It can be whatever color you want. Okay, now for all the little stringy things. Oh yeah, there we go. That's fun. Let's make them flow in the water. Wouldn't that be a fun life, just swimming around all the time? I wish I had done about 5 more jellyfish now because that was a lot of fun. I might have to do another one of these paintings and put some more jellyfish in there. Just a thought. All right. Am I all done? No, of course not. I forgot Mr. Turtle. All right. Don't worry, Turtle. I gotcha. Go green on your shell. Give it a brush. I'm going to go darker green out here, and then I'm going to use a lighter green for the pattern. You can do whatever you want. I've seen all different kinds of colors on turtle shells. Lighter? You can lighten it. Okay. And now I'm going to use kind of a yellowy color, yellowy green on face. There we go. Need to give you your eye back. You smile. Put some little green dots on you. Just for fun. Little pattern. Okay. Now let me get a new brush because I want to put in some bubbles. Bubbles are fun. Bubbles are important. You have bubbles going wherever you want under the water. Sometimes there might be a bubble just because of the movement. You can even do some little some lines to show the movement under the water. I'm going to do some tiny ones too. Dot, 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 dot. Over my image one more time, make that really good. All right, I think I am all finished with mine. How's yours coming? You don't have to be finished just because I am. You know the rule. You work as long as you want. Every piece of art has its own plan, and it takes however long it takes. But the last thing that you do want to do whenever you are finished is sign your masterpiece. So I'm going to sign mine, Mr. Paul. Ta-da! I had so much fun traveling under the ocean with you guys today. I can't wait to see your artwork. If you'd like, please share it on social media. Tag Palenke Arts or me, Art with Mr. Paul, and I would love, love, love to see your work. I look forward to that every single week. I hope you had a blast. I hope that you make lots more artwork all week long. And until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you next Friday for another Art Day with Mr. Paul. Okay? Bye, everyone!